Hey guys, it's Sam here in Washington, D.C. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm originally from Rochester, Illinois, which is a little suburb of Springfield, Illinois, which is a tiny town in and of itself. So I went to Western Illinois University, where I was involved in student government and Greek life, and had an internship out here in DC, and that really started my fascination with politics and wanting to be involved out here. And after college, I moved out to DC in August 2009 with an internship on the Hill. That turned into a job and led to a short stint on the Hill, about 3 years. And then I worked at a think tank for 4, then worked in a governor's office for a couple years as well, before deciding to finally leave politics and enter into the strength and conditioning realm. January 2019, I left politics and got into coaching. I took an internship at George Washington University. I emailed Coach Hammer, and we had a meeting, and he took a shot on a 33-year-old, I was 33 at the time, 33-year-old intern to help out with their program. I drove Lyft on the side and to make ends meet, along with all other sorts of other jobs, delivering donuts and doing manual labor, so that I could coach in the mornings at GW and then work the rest of the day. And actually, one of my Lyft drivers was Catherine Roach, who I drove her and her mother for Mother's Day, and I was telling her mom my story about how I got out of politics and was trying to become a coach and all this, and Catherine was like, "Oh, my gym just opened another gym in DC, and they're looking for somebody. If you want me to put you in contact with them." I'm like, "Sure." And so she put me in contact with Megan and Chris in Virginia, and I came in here to DC to interview with Virginia, shadowed for a little bit, and they trusted me enough to let me start running some group classes and doing some community outreach, and I've been loving it ever since. That was in June of 2019. So I work out 4 days a week. I usually do 2 upper body days, 2 lower body days, 1 upper body day, and a upper body / high intensity interval training workout to keep my cardio capacity up. So during COVID, the week before everything shut down, I had my last weekend at a restaurant that I was working at, which was my side hustle outside of Body Mass. And I was working a lot of hours in the morning and the evening at Body Mass during the week, and then working on all the weekend at this restaurant. And the week before that, I left the restaurant and was planning to just coach full-time at Body Mass, and then everything shut down, and did virtual coaching, virtual classes, and realized I could do this from anywhere. I've always wanted a hat from Telluride, and I figured I might as well just drive to Telluride and do that. So I decided to take a road trip, drove to Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, where the wheel fell off of my Jeep. Thankfully, it fell off in the parking lot of an auto body shop, and they put it back on for me. Then I continued on to Texas, hung out with a buddy in Austin, hung out with a buddy in Dallas, went to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and met Virginia's parents, and then went to Telluride, Colorado, bought a hat, and then after that went to Boulder, and then I went and spent a week at my house with my mom, which she was thrilled to spend time with me during all the shutdown. Then came back to DC. I love my Jeep. It's a '99 Jeep Cherokee. This year is her 21st birthday. The Jeep has had lots of issues. I bought it very cheap from a place down in rural Virginia. It's broken down on me probably 6 or 7 times, but every time I've had to learn how to fix a new thing on the Jeep. So it's enabled me and empowered me to take care of myself, be a little more independent and self-reliant, and have some good stories along the way. Outside of fitness, I like working on my Jeep. That's a big one, especially if it's broken down and I can't get anywhere. I like doing woodworking. I work on some projects, building squat racks, also building shelving units for friends, figuring out how to make stuff and be creative and solve problems in people's lives. I like doing that. I also enjoy going hiking, going on road trips, and hanging out with friends, smoking cigars, and relaxing whenever I can. There's a big issue with like hustle culture in DC, and people always seem to have to do something. Something that I've appreciated about being a trainer is sensing in people's days when they're having a good day or a bad day, and whenever I can sense that, I'll scale back the workout or scale up the workout, or if they're having a bad day, like give them stuff that they'll do really well at, lifts that they like, things that will carry over confidence into their everyday life. Because oftentimes when there's like all these high intensity classes or bar classes or whatever, and sometimes those just end up putting more fuel on your fire, and you just keep burning hotter and hotter, and you don't have a chance to relax. So one of the things I like to make sure is to read like my clients and see how they're doing, and help them be better outside of the gym, not just to check a box here inside the gym. Fitness, morning, afternoon, after my nap, weekdays, books, dogs, both, wings. There's lots of good wings in the city. Some of the best wings I've found are in Bugsy's down in Old Town, and they've got really good pizza too. Favorite thing to make. Chili. Telluride. It's a biography of Frederick Douglass. Union Market. Library of Congress. Lower body. Lifting. Sled drags. Hit those quads. Podcasts. The Dave Ramsey Show. Carbs are bad. So I didn't officially meet this person, but I didn't necessarily brush shoulders, but I walked right past the Dalai Lama. So I got that going for me. Germany. My favorite thing about DC is it's a world beacon, like everybody from the world kind of wants to come here. I'm from a small town of about 1,500 people, and honestly, I wasn't exposed to much culture at all in my little town, and even in like the surrounding area is very homogenous. So coming to DC, getting to meet all sorts of different types of people of different economic backgrounds, but also different parts of the world and also different parts of the United States. I feel like one evening I could hang out with friends just from California, another evening from friends from Texas, another evening the Pacific Northwest, and have different parts of those cultures like brought into my life. I think that's really cool, and it's one of my favorite aspects. Flex. My barbell holder. So I have a PVC pipe that has caps on each end, and I travel with my barbell. So when I went on my road trip, I got to do back squats in like 5 different states. It was great. I like seeing people grow and develop, seeing people go from not knowing how to do a cat-cow and move through their spine. Whenever I say like, okay, we're in a quadruped position, now push your spine up. they literally don't know what I mean by that and don't have a sense of awareness of their body. And watching them over just a couple of sessions just grow in their ability to move their body, but also confidence in moving their body, and how that translates over into, aesthetics are great, but long term they'll be able to play with their grandkids better. They'll be able to move and be more self-reliant later in life, and have more energy for their high demand jobs that they have here in DC. My favorite thing about Body Mass is the training philosophy here. I've learned a lot. So I've come from like a high intensity type background of, whenever I was just young and dumb and in my 20s, and just like go, 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 and not really thinking about how the body moves. And here at Body Mass, they're very intentional about programming and coaching to make sure people are moving well, that they're staying healthy, and enabling them to take care of themselves, not only in the gym, but outside of the gym. Chris and Virginia do a great job at giving all the coaches continuing education opportunities, whether that's sponsoring a certificate or getting everybody together to teach the FMS, teach about thoracic movement, teach about ankle mobility, all these types of things that I was missing whenever I just thought I could wing it on my own part-time training. I've grown a lot as a trainer just because of the Body Mass family.